guys, it's Paula and welcome back to my channel. For all of you guys that are new or this is your first time watching my videos, don't forget to like and subscribe, and welcome to my journey. This, like I always mention, this channel is for my bariatric pathway journey. So this is gonna be chapter 3, and I'm just gonna talk about what I actually did next after the nutritionist. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, stop what you're doing and go watch the other 2 videos that are down below, or click on my name on YouTube and go watch those so you can be all caught up. But yeah, this is gonna be chapter 3, so if you're interested, stay watching. Okay guys, welcome back. So like I mentioned, this is chapter 3. I look a little different, but I just got back from taking my kids to a friend's birthday party. So it was a ball theme, so we did have to kind of dress up a little bit. And yeah, but we just got back from that, so I decided I was gonna go ahead and record for you guys. I do post every Mondays, so turn on your notification bells so you guys can see that. But this is just a continuation. This is chapter 3, and my 3rd step in my program was actually having my meeting with my counselor, or my, what do they call it? Hold on guys. Like I mentioned, I'm going back to my little binder, but they call it my case manager. So my next step on my list was my case manager, and with that was it was a one-on-one with her. And what she actually did was she actually wanted me to bring that blue folder I showed you guys in my first video. And at that point, I was already on putting everything in here for me, just because, like I mentioned, it is easier to go through, and I know exactly where all my papers are. But she asked for this, so she took it, and she actually, when we first went through the seminar, there was a contract that was in the paperwork, and I'll take that out for you guys. And the contract looks like this, and all it says is a few things, just like it literally says contract for bariatric surgery, and on there is just a few things that you are showing up to and acknowledging, stating that you're gonna follow their rules. And it is, let me take it out, actually 2 pages long. There's the first page, there's the second page, and there's also a code of conduct that was given to me, stating that I'm just gonna, follow everything that they tell me and follow their rules. Meaning I'm not gonna insult anybody, I'm not gonna make fun of anybody, I'm not gonna belittle anybody. That's what the code of conduct is. They just want everybody to be very, very respectful with one another. And yeah, so that was what the code of conduct is. Sorry if I'm all over the place, guys, but the contract actually states, here's a couple, and the reason for their contract is the way she explained it to me and the way I took it is accountability. So if they're sitting here telling you you have to do a 1,200 calorie diet and you end up not doing it, they go back to this and they say, well, it was in your contract and you agreed to it and you knew what was gonna happen. And it just states that, they can kick you out if they feel like you're not motivated enough. And when I mean kick out, I mean, they take you out for a period of time and then they allow you to come back. They don't just ban you forever and they're just not going to be like, yo, you can't do it anymore. But They do want you to start becoming accountable of your actions, only because, like I always mention, this is a whole life change. This is a life change. This is a journey to a better life, to a healthier life, and this helps you. I'll just read some of these for you. Like the first one says, I agree to abide by this contract for bariatric surgery. I understand that this is my best interest to follow these instructions, and it is expected by the bariatric surgery service that each will be adhered to explicitly. I confirm that I attend the bariatric orientation and I fully understand the nutritional consequences of bariatric surgery. I will attend one support group meeting once a month until my surgery. I will attend support group meetings for at least 1 year after my surgery. Studies show that patients who participate in a group support have a higher success rate in the long run. It says I will notify, like here's another one, I will notify the bariatric clinic if during the pre-op process I find out that I'm PCSing or will lose TRICARE coverage. I am aware that I must stay in the area for at least 12 months. And a lot of these are because after you have surgery, it's not like you just have surgery and you have a follow-up and that's it. Well, let me rewind. At least not in my program. In my program, you do have to keep seeing your surgeon. I believe you have obviously the first 2 weeks after surgery, which is your 2-week follow-up. And then I believe again you see them in a month, and then once you've been doing it for 2 months. And the reason for it is because they want you to follow your steps. And if any questions that you got, they want you to succeed, so they want to make sure you're doing everything possible. So if you come in one day and you've actually gained 5 pounds, your surgeon's going to be like, hey, well, what happened here? Why are you gaining weight instead of losing? Or you should have lost 20 pounds every month and you're only losing 5. What's going on? What's triggering you? Is do we need to get more help, or are you going back to your old habits? That way they can help you to be able to do better and be able to do this and succeed. But so she went over the contract, she took like pictures of it, not pictures, but she scanned it, kind of like, look, you said you would do it and here's my proof that you agreed to it. She also, you know, there was a evaluation form that they had us fill out that she also took pictures of, and it was just her going through stuff. But also in this same appointment, so let me go back, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm going all over the place. So we met, I told her who I was, kind of told her about myself, told her about why I was doing this program and who actually, you know, approved for me to come through this program. And then she just asked some personal questions, and then also she asked about support, like if I had a support team and who was supporting me and how they felt about it, because their main thing is you having all the support to be able to succeed in this journey. So she was making sure of all that. After she did all that, she kind of went over the contract with me to, you know, make like, so like I could really comprehend like this is what we're gonna do. But at the same appointment, she also scheduled for me to have, so they kind of go through this list with you. That's what she did. She went through my passport or my checklist with me, and there's a couple things that I didn't need. Like I didn't need a UGI swallow study because there's nothing in my history that would make them think that I had any issues with swallowing or with my windpipe or anything like that. I don't have diabetes. It's not in my records, so I don't have to do the diabetes clinic. I don't need the operative reports or clinical notes because I'm not being seen by multiple different doctors that might need to communicate with each other. Like it would be different if I was seeing a specialist for my liver or a cardiologist, or, you know, even though I do see an OBGYN, I mean, that specialty has kind of nothing that could cause me not to go through surgery. So that was a no also. They did do it, even though I don't smoke, and she asked me if I don't smoke, I still had to take the clinical tobacco test that they do. So she scheduled that, and then she also scheduled my lab work. And for all of you guys that don't know, you do end up getting an intensive lab work done, at least in my, once again, in my pathway, because they want to make sure that if you do have something that you don't know about, that it's caught and treated beforehand, so you don't have any complications during your surgery. Their main goal is for you to have a smooth cell surgery, everything come back out fine, there's no complications, nothing like that. So they do work, blood work. So if you're queasy or you don't like your blood drawn, just be prepared for that. They drew 12 vials, I don't know how to pronounce that, but they did draw 12 that day for me. So she scheduled that. I also had to get an EKG. I have a copy of my EKG in my file because they gave me one and then they scanned one into the system. But here's my EKG. So she scheduled my EKG also. At that same appointment, she scheduled my very first appointment with my surgeon. So she scheduled that. And then she also scheduled me, she referred me for my sleep study. In this pathway, you have to go through a sleep study to see if you have sleep apnea. And if you do, then, you know, you have to go through more steps. And she also scheduled my psychiatry appointment also that day. And then depending on your age, they have you do a colonoscopy, a mammogram, and a pap smear. But the colonoscopy is only required if you're 50 and over, and the mammogram, obviously, if you're 40 and over. The pap smears are done every 7 years unless they come out irregular, and I think they're done every 2 years. I know before they used to be done every year, but now, at least through TRICARE, you only get them done every 7 years. Is it 7? It's either 7 or 5, I can't remember. And it, like I mentioned, it's only if it's irregular. So she scheduled that. Also, she scheduled my one-on-one with my nutritionist. She didn't put in work, but she did mention it to them, like, hey, there's people trying to schedule an appointment with me and they can't, because I had a lot of issues having to speak with my nutritionist because they couldn't get appointments. So she helped with that. And she kind of just like reassured me that, you know, not to toot my own horn, but she was like, the fact that I had this and the fact that I had read the book just showed her how determined and how educated I wanted to be about this. This isn't something easy. This isn't some cakewalk. This is a whole completely life change. Once they cut your stomach out, it's out. There's no going back. I mean, if you want to try and stretch your stomach out and you might hurt yourself in the process, you could. But this is a life change. Even if you have bypass, it's still a life change. Like, they're going in and rearranging everything. Your body is going to go through a completely different norm for your own body. You know, I know, for instance, me, I don't drink soda. I haven't for a while, but I know people mention caffeine withdrawal, like they get withdrawals from caffeine. So imagine your body, regardless, for me, I'm 25. Imagine my body for 25 years, it's been eating a certain way, it's been doing things a certain way, and then here I come trying to change it. It's gonna go not into shock, but it's a completely different norm. And what this pathway is showing me, that this is what the norm is. Like, this is your new norm. This is what you're gonna have to like learn, and this is what you're gonna have to learn and you know, adapt to be able to be successful, because this is a tool. I won't ever get tired of saying that. It's a tool. The bypass, or, you know, the VSG surgery isn't gonna go to the gym, isn't gonna eat healthier, isn't gonna do all the work that I have to put in. Yeah, it's gonna help me, and yeah, you know, you might think that I have an advantage over you, but it's still work that I have to put in. But yeah, guys, that was what I did with her. We just kind of went over everything, and she just mentioned, like, I had to create this email to be able to email her back and forth and all my doctors in the pathway, to be able to talk to them, because it's a lot easier than having to call them and you can't find them, or they're not in the office. So I created that with her, and that's the way that she kind of communicates with us and checks up on us to make sure everything is going on track. Because after I'm done with everything on this list, I do have to call her, because then she schedules 2 more classes that I have to take before surgery. It's a pre-op, and then I would have to talk to my surgeon and go into more depth about whether I want VSG or whether I want bypass, whether I even want to go through with it, because what if I don't want to go through with it? What if, you know? So that's all. Like, she's kind of like the glue of this whole bypass, is the way I can explain it. Without my case manager, I wouldn't be able to schedule half of the stuff that I scheduled, keep everything in track. So if you guys are going through bypass or bariatric pathway or VSG pathway, and you have a what is it called, and you have a case manager, just thank them. I know I'm gonna thank her for everything that she's done, just because, you know, it's a lot of work having to imagine everything she had to do with me, and then she has 60-70 other people that she has to do this for. But I'm just very appreciative. She was very informative. I always want to learn. I'm a learner. I like to learn stuff. So, but yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be it for this video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'll go ahead and put it right here. But stay beautiful, guys. Bye.